You want to have a better marriage? You want to have a better relationship with your kids? You want to be a better leader at work? You want to be a better teammate in your office? You must develop soft skills. Did you know that there are all kinds of studies out there that are done asking people where they think they are in terms of their looks or their intelligence? And consistently across research, we find that over half of people surveyed believe they're above average. Now think about that for a second if you've never heard of that research before, because statistically speaking, you can't have more than half the people above average. When you think about average, you're either in the bottom half or the upper half. And when it comes to soft skills, many people believe they're good enough at the soft skills. And so they give no time, no energy, no attention to learning, developing, and improving their soft skills. And what that means is, for the handful of folks that do invest time, effort, and energy into mastering their soft skills, they have the opportunity to rise to the top much more quickly, because there's such a gap between the people that are excellent at soft skills and people who don't give it any time, effort, and energy. It's just like any skill in life. You wouldn't expect to not play any football and be a better quarterback than Tom Brady. You wouldn't expect to never have started a business and be a better entrepreneur than Elon Musk. But many of us look at soft skills like things that we're just naturally gifted at. We think, well, I can communicate, I can interact, I can listen, so I do it well, or I do it well enough. Listen, if you want to take your life and your career to your next level and to accelerate your success and to be one of the top people in your space, and you want to maximize your potential, then you absolutely must focus on developing your soft skills. And in this video, I'm going to help you to understand exactly what soft skills are and what specifically you can be doing to start mastering those skills today, to tap into your greatest potential, accelerate your success, and live a more extraordinary life now and for the rest of your life. And I'm JJ Peller, author of the book, Attract Your Potential. And the purpose of this channel is to help you to be equipped, empowered, and inspired to have more of the tools and insights and mindsets and wisdom that you need to tap into your greatest potential, accelerate your success, and live an awesome, fun, and fulfilling life. So to help you to start understanding what soft skills are, it's important to really understand hard skills. Hard skills really are skills that can be measured very objectively. You've got a certificate in a particular skill, or you went to a particular college, or you developed a particular software skill or a coding skill, or you speak a language. It's something that typically can be pretty well measured by someone observing what you're doing or running you through a battery of tests that assess your skill level. Unfortunately, for soft skills, which I'll list for you here in a second, they're less likely to be observably measured, meaning it's hard to interact with someone and say, you know what, you are outstanding at listening versus mediocre at listening, or you're a 79% listener versus a 99% listener in your skills. And so soft skills are things like communication, speaking, listening, adaptability, innovation, creativity, the ability to interact with other people, the ability to collaborate. It's these skills that you hear about that, yeah, they make sense and great leaders do them and they're probably important and I should be able to exhibit them in a job interview or in my career, but we don't give them enough time, effort, and energy because, again, we just assume that we're good at them. And so the first thing I'd encourage you to do is understand that soft skills are skills like anything else. If you want to master them, you have to be intentional and deliberate with working on them. You've probably heard of this concept of deliberate practice. So that 10,000 hour rule that gets thrown out a lot, it's not 10,000 hours of just kind of going through the motions of something. To be a master at some particular skill, to be elite at some particular skill, you absolutely have to be intentional and deliberate, which means your attention and focus goes into the development of that skill. So as a perfect example, you can't say, well, I listened to 10 people last week for a total of 4 hours, so I've got 4 hours of practice with listening. The question becomes, was that deliberate practice? Were you in those different conversations with the intent to listen, to develop your listening skills, and to be better, even just 1% better, at your ability to listen to another human being? Were you in there with the intent to work on your empathy and your connection and your nonverbal signals in communication? See, if you're not intentional about developing the skill, then it's not deliberate practice. And if it's not deliberate practice, it's not going to accelerate your success. Yes, again, you could count it as hours in your skill development, but it's not true intentional skill development. So the first thing you absolutely have to do is recognize that soft skills are skills. And by the way, this word soft does not mean weak. It was just a label put on these particular kinds of skills back from the research that I did back in the military at one point, decades ago, labeled them soft skills because hard skills were when people were working on machinery or actual hard physical machinery or products. And soft skills were, again, things that couldn't be specifically measured. They were just observed, but not very objectively measured. And so you've got to understand that soft skills don't mean weak skills. In fact, soft skills are core competencies for accelerating your success in any area of life. You want to have a better marriage. You want to have a better relationship with your kids. You want to be a better leader at work. You want to be a better teammate in your office. You must develop soft skills because today, employers and teams and your friends and the community expect it. At the very least, they expect it from elite, high-level performers who are remarkable at what they do. So if you truly want to stand out in your community, in your career, in your organization, for your family, start focusing on intentionally developing these soft skills. Now, I'm going to share with you 3 specific ways that you can be developing those soft skills now. Number 1, reading books. Again, I've got a great recommendation for you. It's Attract Your Potential, links in the description. But reading books that help you to have better insight and wisdom and perspective on skills, soft skills specifically, it's a great way to get that insight so that you can start to realize what you're missing. Because until you start to understand what you don't yet know about those soft skills, you're holding yourself back from accelerating your success. But as soon as you can start making some even tiny distinctions about what can take you to your next level, you will absolutely start to see your skills skyrocket just because of that intentionality. The second thing you can do is really observe people who are exemplifying these skills at a high level. Now, I've continually said through this video that they're really not super measurable. So you can't really say, well, this person's a 79% communicator and this person's a 62% communicator, this person's a 94.5% communicator. But you can kind of get a sense of if someone's a good communicator just by your gut instinct and from observing lots and lots of communicators in your lifetime. Even if you haven't studied great communicators, you kind of have a sense, can someone communicate well or not? Is someone empathetic or not? Is someone compassionate or not? Is someone innovative and creative and collaborative or not? So you can kind of have a sense for this. So my point is, seek out people who you believe demonstrate and exemplify these soft skills at a high level. And you believe they are very skilled at these particular attributes. And so if you find somebody that's really great at it, observe them, watch them, literally take notes, jot down what you see them doing. How are they moving their face? How are they listening in conversation? How are they speaking? When are they speaking? What's their tone of voice? What's their voice quality? What's their voice volume? There's so many tiny distinctions to all of these soft skills that if you can start to get nuanced with what works and what doesn't and what makes a greater impact or lesser impact, that's one way to start developing. Another thing you absolutely can be doing is observing yourself and reflecting on your own work in this space. So as an example, if you've got a presentation coming up and you're feeling nervous, then you need to go and watch this video that I made because I talk exactly about how to not be nervous or reduce your nervousness and anxiety when giving a public speech. But if you're going into a public speech or presentation or a presentation to your team, what you need to do is be very intentional about observing in yourself and doing self-reflection on how you show up, how you deliver, how you communicate. And in fact, if you can even record some of these presentations on Zoom today, it's so much easier. So if you're in a team meeting or you're giving a presentation and you can record it, or even if you want to practice it ahead of time and record it, then you can literally replay that video, that recording, and watch yourself. But if you don't record it, then you need to take time to just sit down afterwards, preferably immediately afterwards, but at the very least do it that day or later that day, and just think about, how do I feel I showed up with my communication, with my speaking, with my pacing, with my tonality, with my listening skills in that meeting? Did I take time to pause and give silence and give space for others to speak up? How do I feel I showed up as a leader for my team? What did I do well? What attributes did I express and show that I've seen other great leaders express and show when they're showing up for their team and working to be a great leader as well? So it's these things that will help you to intentionally develop your soft skills, which are your communication skills, your empathy skills, your collaboration, your creativity, your innovation, your ability to just genuinely connect with other human beings. These soft skills can absolutely accelerate your success when you're intentional with focusing on developing them, putting in the time, effort, and energy to refining and getting better and better every single day. And even if it's only 1% better every day, you will skyrocket your ability from wherever you are today to a whole nother level of your soft skill abilities, which will give you the opportunity to step into new opportunities in your community, in your company, in all kinds of leadership, and to be the best spouse, partner, friend, family member, parent that you absolutely can be, because soft skills are core competencies necessary for successful living. And if you want to stay encouraged and inspired and equipped with more ideas and insights, go and watch this video next, because it'll continue to serve you on your journey of becoming the best version of yourself and living an extraordinary life. And no matter what struggles and obstacles you're going through, my friend, let me encourage you to just keep going. You got this.